Rhode Island is joining us. He's a member of the Armed Services Committee. In fact, he's the top Democrat on the Armed Services Committee. He's also a member of the Intelligence Committee. Senator, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Wolf.
So the full Senate, as you know, all 100 members, they've just been briefed behind closed doors about Russia, what its role was in hacking computers, interfering in the U.S. presidential election. Is there any shadow of a doubt in your mind that Vladimir Putin himself was behind the hacking?
No, not at all. In fact, the unclassified report, which is the public knowledge, concludes that very clearly. What is not publicly released is some of the evidence, and that's to protect sources and methods. But the conclusion shared by all of our intelligence agencies, the entire community, is that Putin was directly involved and authorized at some point this operation. It was a very multifaceted operation.
James Clapper, as you know, he's the director of national intelligence, the outgoing director. He rejected a suggestion by President-elect Trump that intelligence agencies were responsible for the leaks that have been coming out, claiming Russia holds compromising information, potentially unsubstantiated, unconfirmed information about him. Why do you think Trump is blaming intelligence agencies for that?
Well, that I'm not sure of. I know, though, that the disparagement of the intelligence agencies, and this is not as a result just of yesterday's release, but throughout the period of denial that the Russians were involved in the hacking of the Democratic National Committee. And this disparagement is difficult. When General Clapper came before the Senate Armed Services Committee, he pointed out there's a big difference between constructive criticism and disparaging, because disparagement affects thousands of intelligence workers, Americans, who are dedicating their lives to the country, sometimes in very dangerous situations, doing their best to protect us, and to just dismiss their efforts as something that's either without meaning or mischievous or something else is not appropriate.
Senator Reid, you were there at that a closed-door briefing today, the intelligence community briefing, all 100 members of the Senate, classified information. Did that two-page summary, that synopsis, if you will, of these unsubstantiated allegations that the Russians supposedly collected to potentially compromise Donald Trump. Did that come up during the session today?
Well, the reason it's a closed-door session is because the matters discussed behind those doors are should be kept there. I'd prefer that. I think, you know, essentially this series of allegations is in the public domain. That's out there, and I think just standard procedure of the intelligence services, particularly the FBI's counterintelligence, is to try to verify, discredit, disprove, or confirm, because it could, in some cases, provide access, leverage, or some other nefarious means to an opponent of the United States if it's not disputed or not dismissed.
Senator Reid, I want you to stand by. There's more we have to discuss, including Donald Trump's nominee for defense secretary. He took a hard line today when it comes to Russia during his confirmation hearing.